Hello everyone, welcome back. Finally we got a video on my tank. It's been, I think, just coming up a month since the last update on my tank. Last week we did a video on my dad's tank, and now finally we got a video on mine. Just in case you were wondering, I've turned all the flow off in the tank just for the video recording purposes, just so it brings the fish out. I've also put some food on the top of the surface. If you see the fish picking at the surface quite a lot, I've just put some food in there to bring them out more. The tank's been doing really well, especially since I've started dosing Red Sea's AB+, which is a coral food. What I don't do what you're supposed to do, which is just tip it into the tank and let the corals grab what they need. But what I do is I target feed it into in each one of the corals' mouths once a day. I do 10 ml of that every day, target feeding. So it's the right amount. It's not too much, not too less. It's just the right amount. I can also afford to, since my nutrients are quite low. That's the main reason I'm doing it, because I don't think my corals are getting enough nutrition they can from the water. I'm dosing it in around 8 o'clock, in between 8 and 9 p.m. in the evening, because that's about a time when I turn my skimmer off. So when I put the food in, I turn the skimmer off before and keep it off for the rest of the night, and I turn it back on in the morning. The reason I do that is so the skimmer doesn't instantly start stripping out the coral food and not giving the corals enough time to grab it and consume it. It's actually had a really good effect on about 60% of my corals. I can definitely see colour has definitely improved. Growth on particular corals like the red digitata, the blue digi, the green elkhorn, and definitely the three purple, red and green plating montiporas. Definitely the colour's gone really good. See the coral in the on the right side there, the purple one by the rest right there. Remember that about a month ago was near enough dead. It was virtually white. Yeah, you can now see it's purple. I haven't seen any growth on it yet. It's only just come back to life, but the polyps are all out on it. It's got some nice colour. Hopefully start to see some growth in it very shortly. But yeah, it's really amazing to see that just a few doses of that AB plus to a coral that was near enough dead has completely come 100% back to life. I'm also now starting to dose the tank with alkalinity and calcium and magnesium. Not so much magnesium, haven't dosed any of that yet, because magnesium kind of doesn't really move that much. You don't really have to dose that usually, sometimes not even at all. It's just mainly the alkalinity and then the calcium a little bit. So I've done quite a few doses of alkalinity. I'm going to test again tomorrow to see what that's at, because it's a good thing that it's dropping now, because that means coral's growing. It's using it, sucking it down to grow. So that's a good sign, because it wasn't before. Like a month ago it wasn't really getting sucked down at all, but now it really is. It's only a small amount though. Probably have to dose maybe 1 or 2 mil a day to start off with, maybe 3 mil at the most. Just to keep it a level between 8 and 9 is good. It's a bit low at the moment. It's about 7.7, 7.8 kind of area. At least that was the last time I tested it. I've done a couple of doses after that, but I reckon it's about, I'm going to judge around about the same now, as maybe 7.9, maybe 8. So probably need another few doses of alkalinity. Maybe start putting some in the dosing container, starting to dose the tank a few mil a day. See that pink patch in the center of the screen right there, that pink patch on the rock, but it's kind of reddish, but it looks pink on the camera. That's cyanobacteria that's been on that rock, and it's been on there for about 5 or 6 months. It's never gotten any worse, never gotten any better. So I've pumped it off with the turkey base a few times, but it just comes back. It doesn't come back any worse or anything. It just, yeah, I've decided just to leave it, because it's not really much of an issue. It's not spreading anywhere else, so and at least as long as it doesn't spread to any of the other bits of rock. Even if it does, I got some Blue Life Cyno RX, which mops it up in just literally a few days, or sometimes just in 24 hours. There is a job I've been meaning to do with this tank for quite a while now. I did say about it about a couple months back, I think, in an update, and that's the sand bed. It's got a few bits of coral on it. Some of it's alive, surprisingly. Some of it's dead. It's very, there's a bit of rubbly rock in there, and it's very uneven, and it just needs sorting out. It's been about 6 months since I last went through it, like pumped through it, so there's probably a bit of detritus in there maybe. So I'm just going to pump through it, maybe next video I think, if not the one after, this month, in this month at some point in May, I'll probably get around to doing it, and I will film it as well. And also the external filter return pump, I bet that's probably quite dirty as well, so that's probably due a clean, since that thing has been running for 3 months now, roughly, I think around 3 months. So that's the kind of time you want to wait until you clean your return pump out, give or take. I've also got a Frag Rack in here that has 4 corals on it. There's a green and red plating Montipora that are kind of mixing together, both on one frag plug. There's also another bit of green Monty, and there's a green Aquapora, I think it's a barley slimer, a dark green barley slimer, and a hammer coral, a tiny little frag of hammer coral. I'm going to try and place those in the tank, if not, try and get rid of them somewhere. I don't know where I'm going to put them or what I'm going to do with them, but I just don't really want the Frag Rack in there. It's a bit in the way, and it kind of blocks your view on the left side a little bit as well. So I would like to get rid of that really. As for all the equipment on the tanks, like the wave pumps, I've got Jecod Sow-8 on here. I've got 2 of them. They run on full power constantly during the day, and then I have them on half power, well, a little bit less than half power during the night time. And the Red Sea LED 50 is performing very well. Don't really have any issues with them. I don't really have to do anything with them at all. The schedule just runs throughout the day. I don't really go on the app at all. You get a few firmware updates you have to do that take literally 2 to 3 minutes. You get them every few months. It's just like a mini software update on the app. The skimmer as well, that does definitely need definitely due a clean. The last time I cleaned that was when I put the new scape in. When I built all this new structure, I took all the corals off the previous structure. I got rid of those rocks, and then I built this one, put this one in. I took the skimmer out as well because it was a bit in the way, and I was switching it over to this side. So once I had it out, I thought, let's clean it out then. And that was about October last year-ish, maybe November. I know it was a little bit before Christmas. So yeah, that's about 6 months since the last time the skimmer pump was cleaned out. So that's definitely due a clean. That's probably the first thing I'm going to do with this tank actually. All of the fish in the tank, I believe I have 7 fish. There's 3 wrasses, there's a damsel, 2 Ocellaris clownfish, and a lawnmower blenny or algae blenny. So that is 7 fish in the tank. Remember, this is a 30-gallon tank, so it's about right. I could probably afford to have a couple more in there, but I'm going to leave it for now. Maybe in the future I might add some more, maybe another wrasse in the future. I'm starting to feed them brine shrimp about 2 or maybe 3 times a week to try and raise up my nitrate mainly. The phosphate's not too bad. That's about 0.04 last time I tested, and the nitrate was at 0.2, which is really, really low. So thank you everyone who has watched this video. I'm going to end it here. Next week, I'm not really too sure what I'm going to do. Probably either do the sand, maybe the skimmer, or the external, or maybe I'll try and do it all into one video. I'm not really too sure what I'm going to do yet, but I definitely do have a few maintenance jobs I need to do on this tank, which I do want to film on camera and upload to the channel. So you all shall see the tank next week. Bye.